What is up, people? Skywalker Hendrix here, back with another video for you guys today. And today I am again looking at some of the AliExpress clone troopers. These are basically customs, if you want to be very vague. Um, there is a toy store on AliExpress that does sell these for around 18 a piece, $18 US a piece. And it's a really good deal. And these are all clones that Hasbro has not made yet, at least. And that's why I think it's worth it. And I know I talked about this a lot more in my last video, which if you scroll down, you'll find it. But yeah, I think since these are specifically clones that Hasbro has not made, I do not really feel bad. You know, picking these up, because if Hasbro wanted to, they could have given these to us, and I definitely would have grabbed Hasbro's first. Um like, it's not like I'm going out of my way to go get these knockoff clones, quotation marks. Um but since Hasbro has not made them, I these are characters I want, and Hasbro, I don't the TVC Waxer did just come out. And of course, this is Waxer, this is Boyle, and this is kind of an AliExpress original, Arc Trooper. Arc Trooper. It's more off the realistic style, more of a Bly type style of figure. But yeah, I think these are great, and the quality is great. There are some slight issues, as you can probably see right off the bat. This Boyle only has one colored knee pad. Um, but I don't know, it doesn't really bother me, since these are kind of painted on, like, the clones themselves painted these, and you can see some of the red kind of got right below his eye. But I don't mind it. I chalk it up to a little bit of battle damage or weathering, or whatever. But you can see, it's not picking up on camera that well, but there is a little bit of messiness. But overall, like, it's no worse than a Hasbro figure with some QC issues would have. This Waxer is absolutely phenomenal. If you look at that printing on the helmet, it is just crispy clean. Super happy with this. And there are 52 tallies on his helmet, I did count. But yeah, he looks absolutely amazing. Super clean. I mean, it looks exactly like if you handed me this and said, "This is a Hasbro Waxer, brand new Hasbro figure," I'd be like, "Oh wow," wouldn't even tell the difference. And most of you probably know and have clones by now from Hasbro, and I mean, these look like they are official Hasbro. Now this one, his helmet is a little, well, pretty sloppy in my opinion. You can just see the gray right there is super sloppy. That is just misprinted. The black line is very sloppy as well. But for $18, and putting him back here, he looks just as good as the rest of them. So with knockoffs, bootlegs, you're gonna have those sometimes quality issues more often. But and I've gotten quite a few of these bootleg clones now, but this was the first time I had quality control issues, and the issues aren't even that, like, big of issues in my opinion. So to me, it's worth it. I mean, I paid like $60 for these three guys. That's You're not getting Hasbro figures for three Hasbro figures for $60. Um, but you know, Hasbro has not made these, so I think it's fair game. And they do, Waxer and Boyle did come with their, long rifle along with the more shorter rifle. And then this guy did come with a longer rifle, and then he has the two pistols right here, which is very nice. And this guy is not even like Canon, or I've never seen a 212 Bly type figure before. So that's totally brand new off AliExpress. Now these two, I want to talk about them and kind of more Waxer in general. I think he pulled this file from Hasbro. I really do. Either it was the TVC figure that they just released and he just blew it up and modified it a little bit. Whereas this, you can see the orange on the helmet doesn't quite match the orange on the actual figure's paint. So that makes me think maybe he had to make this from scratch just so he could put them both out. But that's just a theory. I actually do really think that he is getting these at least files or designs from someone or something from Hasbro, because I mean it looks exactly like what Hasbro would do if they released these figures. So in my mind, I just think, I mean, and coincidentally, or maybe not coincidentally, all of his figures, the clone troopers, once Hasbro releases a clone trooper like the 187th, then he came out with his own 187th right after that. So that's where I'm thinking he is pulling from Hasbro. And I don't really know how all that would work with like the factories over there, and maybe people at the factories are selling off, prints, or I don't know. But that's my theory. I think Hasbro probably was working on a Waxer, maybe even a Boyle. And then, this guy kind of just beat them to it. And I think that's kind of unfortunate for Hasbro, because maybe now they won't want to. I don't see why they would really care what a bootlegger is doing. Because I would still, if Hasbro came out today with a 2-pack of Waxer and Boyle, I'd buy the official Hasbro ones. But for now, this is all we got. And I really love Waxer. So I really wanted a Waxer on the shelf. And I just think it's justifiable in that aspect, where you're not taking money from Hasbro and putting it somewhere else, because Hasbro hasn't made these. So yeah, I just wanted to make a quick little video. I know you all know how Skywalker Hendrix rambles. But yeah, go get these guys if you want. Like, they're great. They look great. Of course, mine, I showed you guys the kind of sloppy paint. But for $18, and back here on the shelf, he looks just fine. And I could always clean that up with my own paint or whatever. But for what it is, $18 a pop, just some army builders fleshing out the clone shelf, I think it's definitely worth it. All right, and here Waxer is compared here to this is an official Hasbro 212, and looks good. And as you can see, I mean, they look identical. I will say the black line, I think it does a lot for the 212. Just that it breaks up the helmet a little bit and just makes it look a little more accurate to how I feel like clone troopers look. But like, they look great together, and they blend in perfectly. I mean, they look like they could have came out in the same pack, So yeah, I mean, I'd say go for it. We don't really know how well these troopers will last long term, in terms of quality of plastic that they're using, stuff like that. Plastic can deteriorate over time, whereas someone like Hasbro is going to use the best plastic available, usually. And I feel like they've been in the game long enough. They know how to make a figure last over time. Whereas AliExpress, these are cheap bootlegs. They might not, the white might yellow in a year. I feel like we've had these for about a year and a half now. And all mine that I've gotten previous, that I probably had them for around a year now. And they still hold up perfectly fine. But we'll see as time goes on how well they hold up compared to Hasbro. But right now, I mean, as long as he keeps putting out clones that Hasbro has not touched yet, I'm all in on the AliExpress clones. And I really hope it pushes Hasbro to step it up a little bit, and give us more of these clones. And I know Hasbro, they want to last a long time too. So they can't just give us all the characters we want immediately, because then in 5 years, who are they going to make? So I definitely get it from that aspect, and I think people sometimes don't think of it that way. But yeah, I highly suggest these. I think they're great for army building, great for customizing. You can get the all-white Phase 2 if you want, which I do show in my previous AliExpress video, or the 501st on this new body. They're just great figures all around. So I highly recommend getting these. So yeah, that's really all I got for you guys today. Just wanted to show these off and kind of um, show people who aren't as in tune some of the new options that they have. Maybe you didn't want to pull the trigger, but you're a huge Clone Wars fan, and Waxer and Boyle are pretty important characters in the Clone Wars. So I think they're essential for the shelf. This guy's just a cool variant on the shelf. It just makes for cool different 212. And you can get this style in the 501st as well if you wanted on AliExpress. And I'm curious to see more of these come out in different legions or battalions colors. So I think that'll be really interesting to see. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the bootlegs. Are you guys all in? Are you guys, not sure yet? Or have you gotten a ton like I have? Let me know down in the comments. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And go get yourself a Waxer and Boil for sure. I highly recommend it. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed my little ramble for today. And may the Force be with you all.